We next have Ms. Weiwei Nu. Ms. Weiwei Nu is a former political prisoner and the founder and executive director of the Women's Peace Network in Myanmar. Ms. Nu previously briefed the Security Council at the open debate on women, peace, and security in October 2024. Over to you, Weiwei.
Thank you, Kavya. Excellencies, distinguished guests, my name is Weiwei Nu, and I'm the founder and executive director of Women's Peace Network, a civil society organization working for peace, justice, and equality in Myanmar. Today, I am honored to join my fellow women's human rights defenders from across the world to mark the 25th anniversary of the Women's Peace and Security Agenda. A quarter of a century has passed since these landmark visions was adopted. Yet, our struggle for full, equal, meaningful, and safe participations in peace building remains far from realized. In Myanmar, we are working to secure our visions of feminist peace, peace that is grounded in justice, equality, and inclusion, where women and gender and sexual minorities can shape their future and live in dignity. As I told the Security Council last year at the annual open debate on WPS, this is impossible without upholding the core pillars of the WPS agenda. Yet, the international community has failed to take sufficient actions to address the deteriorating situations in Myanmar. As a result, none of the current conditions in my country are conducive to feminist peace. Excellencies, Myanmar today is a state of terror for women, a nation where impunity reigns, and survival has become an act of resistance. Over 4 years have passed since the Burmese military overthrew an elected government which unleashed systematic atrocities against civilians and resulted in a human rights and humanitarian disaster. Women and LGBTQ+ people are facing intensifying sexual and gender-based violence, including in the detention facilities. In conflict-affected areas, including Kachin, Chin, Karen, Shan State, as well as Magwe and Sagaing Division, the military is targeting civilians with airstrikes. Soldiers are gang raping and murdering young girls, pregnant and elderly women, and LGBTQ+ people. Rape and starvations also continue to be used as a weapon of war in Rakhine State, where both Burmese military and the Arakan army are brutalizing the remaining Rohingya. As a result, over 150,000 Rohingya have been forced to flee to Bangladesh since 2024. Additionally, of the tens of thousands of Rohingya fleeing over land and sea, more than 75% are women and children who are exposed to human trafficking and sexual violence. Sustainable peace in Myanmar is simply not possible under such conditions. And that is especially the case for Burmese youth, particularly young women. They have taken on significant role in grassroots movement for justice, freedom, and a more inclusive future. 3 out of 4 youth no longer have access to formal education or training, with women and girls facing distinct gendered barriers to their livelihood. Employment opportunities for young women are virtually non-existent in a country where almost half of the population is in poverty. Women and girls also risk the military's forced recruitment, which puts them at a greater risk of exploitations and sexual violence. Hundreds of thousands have fled to the neighboring countries where they continue to live without livelihood and protection. Excellencies, without actions for protections, accountability, and livelihood, we cannot continue our critical work to achieve feminist peace. women, girls, and all sexual and gender minorities can barely survive in this current context. For us to thrive, we need active, consistent, and principled support from the international community, including implementations of WPS agenda. I thus urge the Security Council to gather the political will necessary to take actions to end the ongoing crisis in Myanmar. As a starting point, the Council should convene an open meeting on Myanmar with the participation of women and civil society and adopt a bold resolution to build upon Resolution 2669. Measures to bring justice and accountability to Myanmar, including addressing root causes of the crisis, is necessary. The Council and individual member states must condemn and refuse to support the junta's upcoming sham election, which will only destabilize the region. Recent mass funding cuts have significantly compromised our ability to continue our essential work to deliver humanitarian aid and document rights violations. Flexible, long-term, and gender-sensitive assistance must be channeled to diverse women, civil society, especially of ethnic and religious minorities on the ground in Myanmar and in the diaspora. As was emphasized last month at the high-level conference on the situations of Rohingya, Muslims, and other minorities, direct cross-border aid is necessary to urgently save civilians' lives. Excellencies, for decades, the women of Myanmar have been calling for actions to realize our visions of feminist peace. Now is the time for you to implement the central tenet of the WPS agenda to achieve this vision. Thank you.